Wednesday Addams has always been a symbol of the misunderstood soul, a girl cloaked in darkness, walking through a world that never learned how to love the strange. Beneath her stoic eyes and sharp words lies a heart that feels everything too deeply, pain, loneliness, rejection, yet hides it behind a perfectly composed mask. From her first day at Nevermore Academy, she wasn't just an outsider, she was a storm forced to exist in a glass jar, told not to break, not to feel, and not to belong. Every person she met looked at her as a curiosity, the gloomy girl obsessed with death and revenge, but no one saw the broken child behind that armor. Her sarcasm wasn't cruelty, it was protection. Her silence wasn't indifference, it was exhaustion. Years of emotional isolation shaped her into someone who believed that love only leads to pain and trust only invites betrayal. What makes Wednesday's story tragic is not that she is strange, it's that she was punished for being different. Society made her feel like she had to wear her pain as fashion, to turn her trauma into a performance. Even in a school built for outcasts, she was still the outcast among the outcasts, too real, too intense, too emotionally honest for a world obsessed with appearances. Her journey at Nevermore wasn't just about solving a mystery, it was about finding fragments of herself in a world that wanted to erase her identity. Each betrayal, each confrontation, each secret she uncovered was less about monsters and more about her war with her own loneliness. Because deep down, Wednesday's greatest battle wasn't with the hide, it was with the pain of being unseen. And through it all, she remained unshaken, not because she felt nothing, but because she had learned to carry her pain like poetry. Her darkness wasn't her weakness. It was her only home. 1. Rejected for being different. From childhood, Wednesday Addams was ridiculed for her fascination with the macabre. Her classmates mocked her interests, and teachers dismissed her brilliance as rebellion. She was never the normal girl, and every rejection carved a new scar inside her, silent but deep. When she released piranhas into the pool to protect her brother, the world saw a psychopath. But in truth, that act came from love and loyalty. She wasn't trying to harm, she was trying to defend the only person who ever truly understood her pain. Yet even her kindness was misunderstood, turning her into the villain of her own story. This rejection planted the first seed of emotional isolation in her heart. She learned that caring too much hurts, that protecting someone can make you the enemy. So she built walls, brick by brick, until the world could no longer reach her, and she could no longer reach it. 2. Sent away from home. Being sent to Nevermore Academy was supposed to be a new start, but for Wednesday, it felt like exile. Her parents thought they were helping her find her place among people like her, but to Wednesday, it was just another reminder that she didn't belong, not even in her own family. She carried resentment toward Morticia and Gomez, feeling that they never truly saw her for who she was. They romanticized her darkness but never understood the pain behind it. Their affection, though genuine, felt forced upon her like a performance she didn't consent to. Arriving at Nevermore felt like being abandoned to her fate, surrounded by people who claimed to be different yet judged her for being too different. It was a cruel irony, even among outcasts, she was still alone. 3. Trust issues and betrayal. Wednesday's heart is a fortress. She doesn't trust easily, because every time she does, the ground crumbles beneath her feet. From Xavier to Tyler, every connection she built was laced with betrayal. Just when she began to soften, the knife came, quietly, beautifully, and fatally. Tyler's betrayal shattered her. She opened her heart to him, allowed herself to feel something real, only to discover he was the monster she'd been hunting all along. It wasn't just deception, it was emotional devastation. He didn't just fool her mind, he broke her ability to believe in love again. That pain taught her that vulnerability is dangerous, that feelings can be fatal. Since then, she's carried her heart like a weapon, sharp, locked, and unyielding. 4. The weight of her family legacy. The Addams family carries centuries of mystery, darkness, and expectation. Wednesday feels the weight of all of it pressing on her shoulders. Her parents want her to be proud of their lineage, but she wants to carve her own identity, one not defined by the past. Her mother, Morticia, is elegant and adored, and her father, Gomez, is charming and expressive, everything Wednesday is not. The comparison suffocates her. She feels like a disappointment, even though she's the only one brave enough to face truth head-on. Every time she looks in the mirror, she sees not herself but a reflection of what she's expected to be. 5. Loneliness disguised as strength. Wednesday's independence is her shield. She moves through life convinced that needing no one is power. But underneath that strength is a vast, aching loneliness she refuses to acknowledge. When she walks through Nevermore's corridors alone, she pretends it's by choice, but sometimes, the silence feels too heavy. Her solitude is both her comfort and her punishment. It protects her from betrayal but deprives her of love. The cruelest thing about loneliness is that it doesn't kill you, it just quietly drains you. And Wednesday, despite her sharp tongue and cold eyes, is slowly bleeding from that invisible wound. 6. Constantly misunderstood. People rarely try to understand Wednesday. They label her cold, creepy, heartless, without realizing that she's deeply empathetic in her own quiet way. She notices everything others ignore. She listens when no one else does. But being misunderstood for so long makes her question if anyone could ever truly know her. Even Enid, her cheerful roommate, tries to change her instead of accepting her. Their friendship becomes a tug-of-war between light and darkness, both wanting to understand, yet never fully succeeding. The pain of being misunderstood isn't loud. It's quiet. It's the look in her eyes when she realizes she'll always have to explain herself, to everyone, forever. 7. Living with guilt. Wednesday carries guilt like a second skin. Guilt for hurting people who cared about her, guilt for being too cold, guilt for not being enough. She hides it under sarcasm, but it eats at her silently. When she realizes that her suspicions hurt Xavier or that her actions endangered others, she feels the weight of it deeply, but she'll never admit it out loud. Her pride won't let her. So she apologizes through actions, not words. Her guilt is heavy, but she carries it gracefully, like a girl walking with broken bones but refusing to limp. 8. Psychic visions as a curse. Her visions are her greatest curse. They give her knowledge but take away peace. Every time she touches someone or something, she's thrown into flashes of death, pain, and secrets she never asked to know. These visions isolate her even further. How can she connect with people when every touch might reveal their darkest truth? It's a burden no one else can understand, and it leaves her emotionally scarred. Knowledge may be power, but for Wednesday, it's also torment. She sees everything, and it breaks her a little more each time. 9. The pain of rejection by Tyler. Tyler was the one person who made Wednesday believe she could love. She saw something genuine in him, until she realized he was the Hyde, the monster she'd been chasing. That revelation didn't just destroy her trust, it destroyed her sense of judgment. It's cruel when your heart betrays your logic. Wednesday had always trusted her mind, but Tyler made her doubt even that. The boy she thought understood her darkness turned out to be its source. After that, she decided love was a lie, a beautiful illusion meant to destroy people like her. And perhaps, she was right. 10. The endless battle between heart and mind. Every struggle Wednesday faces comes down to one thing, the war between her heart and her mind. Her mind says to stay cold, logical, detached. Her heart aches for connection, warmth, and love. But every time she listens to it, she gets hurt. That conflict defines her entire existence. She wants to be strong, but she's tired. She wants to be alone, but she craves understanding. She wants peace, but she's addicted to chaos. In the end, her greatest struggle isn't the monsters outside her, it's the monster within her, the endless ache of feeling too much in a world that demands she feels nothing. Wednesday Addams is not a villain. She's not even a hero. She's a mirror, reflecting the pain of every person who's ever been misunderstood, every soul who hides their emotions because the world punished them for feeling. Her struggles are not signs of weakness, they are proof of her strength. It takes courage to live authentically in a world that wants you to pretend. It takes resilience to stand alone when everyone else walks in packs. It takes a heart of steel to love when love has betrayed you again and again. In her loneliness, there is poetry. In her pain, there is art. Wednesday transforms every scar into a story, every heartbreak into armor. That's what makes her unforgettable, not her darkness, but her ability to survive it. Behind her blank expressions lies a heart that just wanted to be understood, a heart that, despite all its wounds, still beats with defiance. She may never show it, but she feels everything. Always has. Always will. And maybe, just maybe, that's her truest curse, and her greatest beauty.